stand. Thank you. Dr. Jackie Blue.
Tēnā koutou katoa. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. It's indeed a pleasure to speak in this first reading of Simon O'Connor's bill, the Joint Family Homes Repeal Bill. It's about repealing old and tired legislation and cleaning up our statute books. Existing legislation, once it's served its purpose, needs to be repealed, and certainly the 40-year-old Joint Family Homes Act 1964 it certainly fits that category, and this bill will do exactly that. We've heard that the Law Commission recommended that it should be repealed over a decade ago. I'm delighted that Simon has had the opportunity to do just that today. The world has certainly moved on for 40 years. The Joint Families Home Act 1964 is out of date and has been superseded by legislation and certainly modern practice. The Law Commission noted that in even 2001 it had largely lost most of its commercial and social importance that it once may have had. The 1964 Act was originally intended to protect the homes of married couples from the claims of unsecured creditors and from death duties by allowing a dwelling occupied by a couple to be registered as a joint home. And of course the 1964 Act had many benefits which we've heard about today, but briefly: savings from death duty, protection against unsecured creditors, security for the spouse who was not already on the title on becoming a co-owner, avoiding stamp or gift duty, and legal costs in the case of very small estates. The Law Commission, as I said before, those advantages have been superseded. Indeed, stamp duty was abolished in 1999, estate duty in 1992, and more recently gift duty was abolished in 2011. The Act has not kept up with modern day practices. Back in 1964, marriage was certainly the norm. And increasingly there have been more and more de facto relationships, and the Law Commission report in 2001 said there had been a big shift away from formal legal marriage. In 1996 there were almost 240,000 people living in a de facto relationship, which was an increase of 46% since 1991, and over that time there had been definitely a decline in the number of marriages. And certainly it's interesting to note that since 2001 to the present day, marriages, the absolute number of marriages have remained pretty much static despite the increase in the population. And of course we've had civil unions, something that wasn't around in 1964, and since 2005 the number of civil unions have gone from 278 up to 377 in 2011. So the rationale for supporting this bill is clearly obvious, and it's delighted that I'm sure we'll get the support of the House, so congratulations to Simon. It's important that the legislation and the current purpose remains valid, and it's time this 40-year-old Act is repealed, and I commend this bill to the House.
Julianne Genter.
E te mangi o te whare.